Hello and welcome to the original Until Dawn. This stream is going to be a shorter one. By that I mean 3 hours. Could be 4 hours, depending. But I've been getting 2 chapters done per stream, but it'll be it'll probably just be 1 chapter, I think, in today's stream. But that's okay because I'm going to be continuing this playthrough into October on the same day. So I'll still have plenty of time to get the playthrough finished. Hey there, Keone, welcome. How's things? Hey there, Shaky. Hope you're enjoying your Burger King. Hope it's delicious. Hey there, Ave. Thank you for leaving the lurk. Really appreciate it. Hope things are going well. Keone forgot that I was streaming at 9:30. Oh, that's all good, Keone. Yeah, it's a shame on the schedule tab on my channel. They don't let you actually put like an estimated start time. They only let you put your start time or your end time if you know what time you're going to end your stream. So I think they should be able to update it so you can put like a estimated time as well. Hey there, Anamoon. Welcome on in. Hope things are going well. You lost your phone in Aarhus. Oh no. Sorry to hear that happened. Were you able to retrieve it? Hey there, Enmita. I'm doing good, thank you, dude. Things are going well. How about you? How was the rest of your Origin stream? Keone, you hope a 4-hour stream. It could be. Very well could be. Depends on how long some of these musical parts go to, because it's also like, has it looped yet? Or is it going to loop 3 times and then the 4th time it's going to start something different? That's unfortunate, Anemone. So anything you had, you have to restart. Oh, yeah, that's the other tough thing too, because like it could have been lost and no one's picked it up, or someone could have done. And so it's better to err on the side of caution, even though, it is annoying to have to start all over again with a new phone. Thanks, Inmita. Cheers, dude. I'm glad that you're going well. Hope you enjoyed your lunch. That's awesome. Alamone, you don't like iPhones. You don't like iPhones. I've never actually had any iPhones before. I've always just had like an Android phone. Oh, don't want to do a new story. Definitely not. Whoops. That's lucky. I mean, it does ask you to double check if you want to. So we're up to chapter 7, and so far we have lost Jessica and we've lost Matt. So they're the 2 characters that have died so far. And we made a choice that is going to mean that Chris is going to die. But having said that, if you mess up the QTEs, then you'll die before you get to the point where you can die if you've chosen to shoot at Ashley. Because Ashley will close the door on Chris and then Chris will get killed. So I think what I'm going to do for this first run through the game with music only, I'm going to just try to survive the QTEs, and then Chris will die at Ashley's hands as well. Lunch was delicious in Mita. That's very good. Keone, real ones use Nokia for durability. It's like drop it and it's fine. It'll be okay. Hey there, Ogorki. How's your day going? Very important to do your neck exercises, Dr. Hill. Glad to hear that you're going good, Ogorki. That's really good. So let's resume, and it should do a recap as well. Even though I don't have dialogue audio on, I still have the subtitles on, just in case people want to read along what's happening in the story. Anemone, you're more also to androids too, like me. Oh, that's fair enough too, Anemone, as well. I haven't really had any troubles with them. In Meta, Origins went well. You killed all the Falakis and completed the related quest, which didn't give you anything on New Game Plus, but you got it out of the way. Then you completed some side quests in Memphis. You did the quest where Bayek accompanies that pregnant lady to a temple and then explains what a Magi is. I'd forgotten how good that moment is. That is great in Meta. Glad to hear that it went well. GG's on getting all the Falakis killed. And that's unfortunate. What I think would have been cool in Meta is if you actually did the Falakis on New Game Plus. It would have been cool if they actually gave you a different variation of the same outfit, like a different color scheme, maybe a different pattern. Or they could have done something like they give you special access to areas or something, you know? Like, how cool would it be if you had some kind of like thing on you that lets you go into restricted areas without being attacked and stuff like that? I haven't actually played any of them before, Shaky, the Dying Light games. The new one looks cool. Definitely on my list to get to, though. I've seen Lucinda play them quite a few times. Dr. Darling, you decided to work from home. Rod decided to start late. Exactly, Dr. Darling. I made sure to use my psychic ability, and I was like, Dr. Darling is going to be working from home today. I better make sure to start my stream late. So you missed hours of a stream. Well, you didn't, because I've only been streaming for 10 minutes. So it's all good, dude. I hope work is going well. Ogorki, it's like watching a silent movie. That is true. Yeah, that's a good point, Ogorki, actually. Without having the dialogue and just having the music, no sound effects. Hey there, Terry. Welcome on in. I hope things are going well. Anemone, you're going to write some really private and sensitive in Discord PM, my friend, like what has happened to me, etc. Yeah, Anemone, that's no worries at all, definitely. You know, send it in private message in there. That's definitely no worries at all. And me too, yeah, I guess I didn't really think things through. New Game Plus feels just like a normal playthrough without anything special. Yeah, it makes me wonder too, like, did they originally plan to actually have it? Or was it just something that, hey, we can actually add it, and then they added it later? Because I know they added it later, of course. It wasn't there when the game first came out, but Anemone, you need a link. Oh, of course, that's right, because you got a new phone too. I'll just grab that for you. Copy and paste. There we go. No worries at all, Anemone. Oh, another note too. Because we got captured as Sam, there's a whole room with collectibles that we actually miss out on. I don't yet know if there's any different music that happens in that area. I accidentally pressed two buttons at the same time instead of just the one button that was required for a QTE, and that was enough to fuck me up. And so Sam got captured. So I'm going to have to try in the next pass through to really, really make sure that I'm actually using my index finger to press the buttons. That might be better than using the thumb. Thank you, Shaky, for redeeming the Assassin's Creed quote, and thank you, Ogorki, for doing the clip. Rogue it is, Shaky. Thank you for clipping that moment. Shaky, surely the quotes are better than the game. At least I just have to say them. I don't have to play through them. Forgive me, Adewale. You dare beg forgiveness, child? Hell welcomes traitors like you. Then I'll go there proudly, knowing I've done right. It does not matter. Achilles already has what he needs. I will kill every last man who defends him, if I must. I cannot let him succeed. You have become a monster, Shay. Perhaps I have. Sorry for the terrible Irish accent, but I don't like the character of Shay Cormac. Thank you for redeeming that, Shaky. That's, of course, when he kills one of the best characters in the entire series. The assassin, the legendary assassin, Adewale. Piece of shit killing him. Thank you, Anemone, for sending that through. I'll check that out later. Imitra, could have been better if they made, like you said, a different variant of the outfit you get by killing them, and also at least made the weapons you use do more damage, like in Witcher 3, where if you play on New Game Plus, all weapons do the double of the initial damage. That is cool. I didn't actually realize that about Witcher 3. That's a really good idea. Definitely helps give you an incentive to replay the game as well. Thank you, Shaky. Appreciate it. Yeah. In seriousness, though, I wish I could do a proper Irish accent, but I just can't. Like, sometimes I can get the timing and all that kind of stuff, but yeah. Which is ironic because I've actually got Irish heritage on one side of the family. But having said that, though, it's not like it's close relatives either. Like, I'm talking like, great great grandfather and grandmother and all the way, decades and decades and all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, I never actually met any family members who were actually Irish, and I never learned how to do the accent or anything like that. Never even been there before. But then again, just because you have heritage from other countries doesn't mean that you automatically, by birth, know how to speak the language. Still have to understand it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Shay, I make my own luck. Imita, yeah, it's very helpful since you still level up in New Game Plus in Witcher 3 until you reach level 100, which is the cap level. That definitely sounds very generous to make it 100, the cap level. Yeah, Shaky. I love doing that with the character's eyes. Gorky, take off the towel, please, lol. Definitely not something that can happen in this game, but I'm sure if you go to sites that aren't Twitch, you might find something. Sam is like, seriously? I know it was a joke, Ogorki. I know it was a joke. It's just that I like to try and keep this channel smut-free, or we'll talk about, sexual stuff to like a minimum, because that's also an area where streamers can get into trouble. So just need to make sure that, you know, no one's going overboard with anything. Shaky, so what you gotta is have her jump right on the statue, then the screen will freeze then. Alright, so that music is definitely looped now. I was waiting for the big thundering sort of like beat to come back into it. Hey there, Not Fry. I hope things are going well. Hey Lucinda, good morning. Welcome to you. How's your morning going? My Friday is going really, really good, Lucinda. I had a good day today. Things went well. Had a bit of a chill with family, so that was good. How's things going with you? I'm a bit full actually because we had chocolate cake for dessert, which was delicious, but it was very rich chocolate cake and very filling. Hey there, Code. I hope things are going well. The Mad Cook arrives. Welcome on in, Mad Cook. Are you a mad cook because you are angry, you are psycho, or your food is so mad that everyone loves it? Good afternoon, Code. Welcome on in. It was Ogorki. Yeah, definitely was yummy. Yeah, definitely something to have every now and again, though, not something to have too often. Listen, I'm glad to hear your Friday went well, and chocolate cake sounds great. You're doing well, you're eating breakfast, getting ready for the big day. The big day, the day that has been long foretold to come along. Yeah, it was delicious. It was really, really nice. It was really good. Glad to hear that you're doing well, Lucinda. I hope that the big day goes well also. Keone chocolate cake with milk, so good. That's a good combination as well. Oh, absolutely. Code layers of garlic, sliced potatoes, onions, mushrooms, cheesy sausage sliced, yellow chili tuna, shredded more onions, spices capped by a layer of more garlic, sliced potatoes, some milk, and grated cheese. Well, that actually sounds really nice. That sounds delicious. Doesn't it, Emily? Cindy, yep, Dying Light, the Beast Day. Oh, hell yeah. I really hope that it's a really good game as well. And to have Ezio Crane Auditore, Ezio Crane Redfield return. Hey there, Oliver. Good day, mate. How's it going there, mate? Eh? How's things, Oliver? Welcome on in, dude. Yeah, Coyote, you shall not pass. But I've got a pass card, Gandalf. Gandalf's like, oh, okay then. You may pass. So that music where Emily's hanging upside down, that just loops. Make note of that. Although you have dug too deep, too greedily. Damn. And people said that the mines of Moria were going to have plenty of diamonds and riches for everyone to go around. They should have mentioned the giant Balrog that would be waking up, though. It's funny. The composer of this original Until Dawn's music, Jason Graves, he also did Tomb Raider 2013. And in Tomb Raider 2013, there's a part where Lara is actually hanging upside down. So we have another game that he's done music for where one of the characters is hanging upside down. A lot of instrumentation and stuff that is used in Tomb Raider 2013 gets used in this as well. The last game that he did music for was Still Wakes the Deep, which I think is a fairly new game. Glad to hear that things are going great, Oliver. You're enjoying your days off now? Oh, hell yeah. I hope that they go really slowly too, so you can savor it as much as you can. Okay, so I think that is looped now. Oliver, she really likes to hang out. That is true, Oliver. Emily loves just hanging upside down above a chasm that is so high that if she were to fall, she probably would die. Ogorki resistance is futile. Well, that's the thing too, in a moment like that. If you just don't press anything, the character just hangs there. Like, you could leave it like that for 10, 20, 15 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and the character would still be dangling there. Oliver, death is certain. Are you certain that death is certain? Maybe death is uncertain. I mean, if you ask death a question unrelated to dying, maybe death isn't really certain on things that are unrelated to dying. It's like death. Can you tell me what it means to live a fulfilling life? And death would be like, I don't know, I'm not certain. We all do autocorrect and typos. That's all good, Lucinda. You're only human. It is funny though what autocorrect decides is the word that you want to put, even when that's not actually what you're wanting to put. Listen to how embarrassing. It's all good. Oliver, autocorrect exposed you, grandma. Now, was that Zereth? Or maybe that must have been the wind. That probably was. I think so, Zereth. Thank you, Zereth, for redeeming the kiki ma ma ma. And me too, that was hilarious. I didn't even notice the mistake until Oliver pointed out. Listen, no, it wasn't autocorrect. You're typing on a full keyboard on the computer. Your fingers just typing whatever they want today. Your fingers have become possessed. That's okay, Anemone. Thank you for popping in. It is really a shame that you lost your phone. It's good that you've got another one, though. Definitely will check Discord later. Thank you very much for being here. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, listen, the fingers are just like, and then you're like, hang on, that's not what I wanted to type. Zereth, kiki ma 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 sounds like they're just trying to order an Indian meal. Kiki ma ma ma. It's so funny though in the Friday the 13th movies because sometimes they do change it. Like there's one movie where it's sort of like, you know, things like that. But the original version is just Zereth Kima Naan bread. Haven't had that very often. CUNY. Yeah, CUNY. Rod, 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 rod. Rod, 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 rod. Ahoy there, Schiller. Welcome, dude. I'm doing really well, thank you. Having a good evening. How's your day going so far? So far in this playthrough, Jessica has died and Matt has died. So the other characters are still alive for now. Mwahahaha. No characters will survive this pass through, but most likely I'll start another playthrough of this with music only, doing different choices. Hey, Mr. Gote, welcome on in. Thank you, Mr. Gote, for redeeming that. How's things, dude? Hey there, Suna. It was the wind that did it. Wasn't it, Emily? Jack Burton always says, John Carpenter makes great movies. Thank you for redeeming that, Mr. Gote. Well, I definitely would agree. I mean, there's some movies that he's done that aren't that great. But still, I'd say that 90% of his filmography is really, really good. Yeah, Mr. Gote, it's all in the reflexes. Like I told my last wife, I says, honey, I never drive faster than I can see, and besides that, it's all in the reflexes. Mr. Goethe, you don't know what is out there, but it's big, it's scary and invisible, and it doesn't like us. Is it the wife? What movie is that from, Mr. Goethe? I don't recognize that quote. Hi there, Saint Smith. Just a heads up, it's English only in this chat. I mean, within reason. Like, if it's referencing something and it's like, something related to a different language, that's fine. Like, if it's a hello or a whatnot. But yeah, in terms of like other languages, like anything where it's like symbols, essentially, instead of like, what's the word for it? Not Roman lettering, but the other kind of lettering. Mr. Gote saw the Predator movie when the guy describes him and saw it later in a funny TikTok redone like that as a funny meme. Ah, okay, so that's not actually what is said in the movie. Someone changed the dialogue for the TikTok video, is it? There's definitely going to be a lot of that, I imagine, too, using AI voice work to take clips from actual movies and completely change what the character says from the ground up. Mr. Gote, it was well done, was it? That's good. How's things going with you today, Schiller? Hope things are going well. Looking forward to you and Anita playing Man and Medan later on. Are you still on for the same time? Because I had a look at what time you said in your Discord message, and I think it turns out to be around 2 a.m. my time. So I'll definitely still be awake at that point to tune in. I did, Mr. Goethe, yeah. Yeah, I had a good day today. Everything went well. And the Until Dawn playthrough is coming along nicely. We're up to chapter 7. There's 10 in total. We've lost 2 characters, but that's okay, because this pass through, I'm going to kill off all the characters. So Jessica has died. She was the first to die. And then Matt died. He died in last week's stream. So the plan will be to kill off all the characters, and in October I'll still keep this on the schedule for Fridays, and I'll pass through the game again, making different choices and stuff. Mr. Goatee, you can't help but want to save everyone and be a perfectionist. I don't blame you one bit, and there's games where it's like the game is constantly trying to fuck you up so you don't get the outcome that you want. So some games like this can be tricky as well. The first time I played this game, I think some characters had died before the final part, but there was a character who was going to probably make it, if not for fucking up the don't move section. And in that whole playthrough, every single instance of the don't move, I was able to just hold the controller in my hands without it moving and succeeding. But of course, when I got further in the playthrough and it was in the early hours of the morning after starting, in the afternoon the day previous, I was like, oh yeah, I'll be able to do this don't move section fine. Slightly moved it, fucked it up, Sam dies. I remember the time too, when I did the playthrough, I was sort of like asking people in chat, who do you think's going to survive? Or who would you like to see survive? Not in the sense of if you said who you'd like to see survive, I had to make sure that they survived, but someone that you thought would survive. And Ryu had actually chosen Sam. So it was like, sorry, Ryu, I got Sam killed right at the end. But yeah, you have to get all the don't moves correctly in that part, especially. Mr. Gote, you're happy on your first playthrough on Little Hope. You got the secret ending, same with Quarry. Oh, very nice that you did. That's cool. Especially on a first playthrough as well, because so much stuff can go wrong or right. And you don't know necessarily straight away either. That's the thing with a lot of these games. It's not just an instant fail that lets you know you fucked up. Sometimes it's like your character's fine until the end when the thing that you did at the start of the game ends up fucking you over. Investigator, usually follow guides to the T sometimes. Text guides work better than videos. Oh, absolutely. The guide I was using to get all collectibles in phase one of this playthrough, it was fine until they got to the point where they didn't explain properly with specific details on how to find a certain thing and ended up missing that. So I found a new guide to follow one from for the rest of that playthrough. Lucinda, okay, Rod, it's about time for you to get your day started. Hope you have a great rest of your stream. Thank you very much. I definitely will for sure. Going to be doing chapter 7, so that'll be good to get one chapter done ahead of next week's stream. Thank you so much for being here, Lucinda. I hope you have a great start to Dying Like the Beast. Would definitely like to highly recommend people check out Lucinda's channel. Lucinda is going to be doing a playthrough of Dying Light the Beast, the new entry in the Dying Light series. Lucinda's a big fan of that series, as well as Dead Island. Also a fan of the Last of Us franchise, as well as the Dishonored series. A great streamer, definitely recommend. Also has some really cool emotes that are themed after raccoons, different kinds of contexts as well. A great streamer, definitely recommend. No worries at all for the shout out, Lucinda. Always more than happy to give you one. Hope that you have a great start to Dying Light the Beast. Hope that the return of Crane is a great one, that you enjoy it. Hey there, Double Door. Good morning to you. How's your morning going? Welcome on in. Not yet, Keone. Definitely want to play the Dying Light games though. I've seen gameplay of Lucinda's from both of them, from the first two. Definitely want to play them at some point. Next year, I'd like to try and get to a lot of the games that I've been meaning to for the last few years, but haven't been able to. Okay, so the music has gone to music we've heard before. In fact, I think it's similar to the music we hear in the menu here. Double music only makes it very immersive. That is true, exactly, yeah, and if you don't have sound effects and dialogue as well, there's little bits and pieces of the music that might be softer in the whole piece of music, and those little soft parts get overridden by the sound effects or dialogue. And sometimes those small details can actually help the actual music feel fuller than otherwise. These types of playthroughs, though, can be tricky when you have music when you're in combat, and how the music plays out depends on whether or not you're either undetected by the enemy, but they're searching for you. And so if you want that music to loop and you hear it in full, you have to make sure that you don't get spotted. And then when you have listened to the music loop in a scenario like that, you then get spotted, and then you get different music, and then they're chasing after you. And whether or not that music plays in full depends on whether you survive or not. And if you want to actually loop the music, you need to survive until the music loops. So some games can be difficult in some moments to get all the music in it. But then you get games like this where you can sort of just stop and listen for the music. Even in moments where you choose, like some choices are timed, of course, but there's a lot of choices where it's an urgent situation and the music is very, very urgent, but you can just stay on that screen with the two choices that aren't timed for as long as you feel. And so that's a good opportunity to let the music play out as well. And then you've got QTEs where if you fail a QTE, it can also interrupt the music, but the interruption might not just simply be the music stops for a second. It might be that the actual act of failing that QTE has its own little music piece that plays if you miss it. So that's the other thing with games like this, to try and cover with music only. So now you too just stare at your phone. That's a good tactic, especially if you're in a dire situation. Just stare at your phone. The jump scare got you, Dumbledore. Yeah, that's the thing too about a game like this. You get those quiet moments where there's no music at all even, and then boom, big music stinger happens because there's something on screen that is supposed to be a jump scare. Actually, now I remember where the music in the gameplay is actually up to. It's playing the same music that plays if you go into your status and collectibles. And you go into the ones that are about the clues, so the twins, the 1952, or the mystery man. This music will play in these three tabs. Then Totems has its own music, Butterfly Effect has its own music, and of course Character Info has its own music too. But I've already covered all this at the top of the playthrough because I still had my save from phase 1 where I collected everything. Not that you need to have collected everything to cover it, but there's a video which is the events of the past. And in that phase 1 playthrough, I collected all the totems, which meant the video was in full. So I played that video with the music only while I had the full video unlocked. So that's already been covered at the top of the playthrough. But even that has its own music. code, well, the smell is decent and fragrant, although not too bad. Half is going to be tomorrow's food exchange. 40% of the snack pack goes to your parents, and you get something in return. Also known as, this time, a curious case of purple potato open crisps slash pies, also known as rye flowers, so slightly sour, acid purple potatoes, smashed, some butter, salt, and baked to well done. No slather in another round of butter or milk, but should be an interesting variation. And wall of text, what should have been earlier, and in parts, bows for formatting. Gives a ghost slap for the keyboard. That's fair code. That is for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I've seen purple. What is it? Is it purple cabbage? I think. Definitely sounds like you've got a lot there. And to use a pun, there's going to be a lot on your plate in that regard. Hello there, Peerwin. Welcome. Hope things are going well. Okay, so coming up is a part where we have to climb up something, and there's QTEs. These moments, and we've done one before when we were climbing up something as Mike, there's so many different combinations of the decision to go either way, plus what happens if you mess up QTEs, how many QTEs are needed to pass to get to the next juncture, and so on and so forth. So this whole part could be a very long part coming up with the climbing. So I'm going to be testing out as much of the variations of choices and QTE misses and successes as much as possible as well. Keone, how is Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay? You can still tell that it's the same game engine as Valhalla and that it's still a bit sluggish. Um, you also have things like Basim when he's scaling down a building, he goes pretty slowly and it's staggered as well. It's much smoother in a lot of the other games in the series before Origins. I mean, it's even really smooth in Origins and even Odyssey. But in Valhalla, you can start to tell that they were changing the rate at which the character can actually climb down stuff for some of the stuff. And they still have the dialogue choices as well, even though there's no point really. Because, for example, there's a mission where you learn information and the game gives you a choice of which piece of information you want to say first, which is pointless because there's no difference to what gets said to you. There's no difference to how that mission plays out. There's no difference at all. Both choices have to be said anyway, you know. So they're still putting in choices even though they're not actually needed. The only exception is when you're actually speaking to the bureau leaders because you can actually learn more information about them, which I think is a great way to put dialogue choices in. Because if you want to learn more about a character, talking to them, you get to do that. But if you don't, then you can just do the missions and stuff like that. And they did improve the parkour from what it was a little bit, but it still is staggered. Even when you're doing like jumps from one thing to the other, it's still got a stop, start, stop, start, stop, start feel to it as well. And you could maybe argue that when it's a longer jump, it makes sense that the character staggers a bit before they do the next jump, which is fine. But it can also happen when you're just jumping short distances between things as well. And it's kind of like the balance between realism versus video game. It's okay to be realistic to an extent, but when it starts to interfere with smoothness of gameplay, that's when you need to drop trying to be as realistic. And so I feel like with those moments, you want a bit of push and pull. You want to make sure that the character feels like they're not too weighty when they're going through the environment. Unity, for example, has Arno jumping and it's pretty floaty. But I think that's fine personally because it's a situation where you want the character to feel like they're smoothly jumping from one thing to the next. But like anything, it's not 100% foolproof. And there are things, even in the earlier games, that were done better, but they could still fuck up sometimes as well. But overall, though, I would say that AC Mirage, for a game that was smaller scale, especially nowadays in the series where they're so adamant to do massive games that have massive open worlds, that have endless amounts of content, quests that are just endless, having like the grinding to do things and leveling up and statistics and all that kind of stuff. It was a good change of pace, but also there's still like a leveling system of a kind in that game as well. But overall, I would say that the gameplay is actually quite good, but it also has its downsides as well. Keone, thanks, Rod. You picked it up today. Oh, cool. That's good. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Hello, Octavius. How's things going? Hello, House. Looking in the Shadow Road. Have a good time, brother. Thank you very much, House. I definitely will. Doing a shorter stream today, covering Chapter 7. Things are going good. Definitely having a good time. Thank you for leaving the lurk too. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day today. Be right back. Keep an eye on chat, Emily. Dr. Darling, you're free from work. Time to have a painkiller and see if you can survive until your usual sleep time. Hopefully so, Dr. Darling, for sure. I hope it's fast acting as well to help you get, some good sleep too. Hey, Nofry. Until Dawn is going well. We're in chapter 7 at the moment. We found evidence that one of the twins is definitely dead, unfortunately. But it's going well. I'll just be covering chapter 7 today, since I started my stream late. And then next Friday I'll do chapter 8 and 9. And then I'll be able to do chapter 10 the Friday after next. I'm going to keep the Until Dawn streams for this phase on Fridays, so that'll go into October as well, which is still fitting. Hopefully, I'll be able to actually finish this phase and do a separate playthrough for October as well. But I'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But as long as Until Dawn has a presence in October, I'll be happy, even if it's just the same playthrough, because when I finish chapter 10, no doubt there'll be some things that will be different music-wise, depending on other outcomes. So I'll do another pass through. But it might not be as long, because it'll only be doing different stuff. So, for example, if there's a piece of music that is in a walking part, then I'll just walk to whatever and then interact. And when it comes to dialogue choices, choose the opposite, and also make different decisions in different spots and just see what the music's like as well. But yeah, it's all going good with the playthrough. It's actually good timing. I'm glad I started the playthrough when I did, because if I started this in October, then I definitely would have only had this playthrough for October for Until Dawn. But fingers crossed I'll be able to do a separate playthrough as well. Be able to fit another one in there, and maybe another one in before the year ends as well. Thank you, Nofry. Cheers. Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of time, but that's the nature of music-only playthroughs too, especially when you're listening for loops. Depending on how easy or hard the complexity is, can actually decide whether it's more difficult to figure out where the loop has actually stopped or started. And sometimes they trick you because they loop the same thing 5 times, but then on the 6th time they add a different variation. Well, welcome on in, Lord. Yeah, I had to read that sentence a couple of times actually. I was like, what? You've had too much sugar today. Until Dawn is awesome. Have you seen the movie? I haven't seen the movie, no. Haven't played the new version of this either. But this version is really good. I really like it a lot. Definitely wanted to do something for its 10th anniversary. But yeah, haven't seen the movie, but I already know like how it connects to Until Dawn, but it just connects to the remake. It doesn't connect to this original version. Because this version is the one that was done by Supermassive. The remake is done by someone else. Because Sony owns the franchise. So they get to decide who works on future variations. Wouldn't be surprised if they do a sequel game to the remake as well. Well, the movie is kind of hilarious. The tap water is the funniest part. It's all you'll say. That's fair enough, Lord. Yeah. I mean, the concept is interesting and all that kind of stuff, but it's something that could have been done as a standalone movie, not even called Until Dawn, and had nothing to do with it. The thing I think would have been good for a movie is you have a movie called Until Dawn, because obviously the events in this game, the characters are going through real stuff. So the game being called Until Dawn is fine. But in the movie version of Until Dawn, the story should have been completely different. However, at the end, when the credits of the movie start to roll, the camera would then zoom out wider and we would actually see that it was actually one of Josh's parents' movies because they're filmmakers and they make horror movies. So then it would be a movie in the universe of Until Dawn called Until Dawn, directed by the parents of Josh and Hannah and Beth before the events of the game. And so you could have it that they were showing the family the movie in a private screening before they were releasing it to the public. So Josh and Hannah and Beth would be all together and they'd all be watching the movie as a family, you know. And you could set it the weekend before this game's story actually takes place. I think that would have been a cool way to do an Until Dawn movie because that way you're not actually interfering with anything from the game. Whereas with the movie that they did do and how it ties to the remake, it basically, in my opinion, just ruins the Until Dawn story. That's why I like the original story for this version. But yeah, if I was doing an Until Dawn movie, I would have made it a movie that Josh's parents made. And then you could have, Josh sort of like getting some ideas. Not that he has foreknowledge of what's going to happen to his sisters, but I mean to say, because he's, maybe he wants to follow in his family's footsteps and become a filmmaker himself. And so he starts to get ideas for movies. And some of those ideas, of course, could be for foreshadowing what happens in this game when he sets up the story of the psycho and everything. I like the name of that chapter, 8, Animus. Well, that is enough for today's stream. It was going to be a short one. I started late. So the next stream of this won't be until next Friday. But next Friday I'll be doing chapters 8 and 9. Hey there, Lightus. Welcome on in, dude. How's things? Chapter 8, Animus. We're going to go right out to Lucinda. She's playing Dying Like the Beast.
Oh, T800. I haven't watched a silent movie in ages. Come watch Weird. It's in color. What kind of a shitty silent movie is this?
I think some new director was thinking about color for the new generation, Bain. Chill out. Thank you for redeeming those impressions, Lightus. This is the silent movie version of Until Dawn. I should do black and white mode. I mean, I can't actually have that live, but I could do it in post. That's okay for the stream, Keone. Absolutely no worries at all. Glad to hear that you're doing well. That's good, Lightus. I did, yeah. It was a good stream. It was good to get one chapter done. It's good to get chapters finished in this playthrough because there is a large chunk of time where it's just waiting for the music to loop, and sometimes there's moments where you take a few steps and then the music changes. So wait until it loops. Then take a few more steps, the music changes again, and so on and so forth. Thank you, Notfra. I definitely will have a good night. Thank you very, very much. It was fun, Lightus. It really was. Yeah. It's funny having Bane and Arnie have a back and forth. Before I read out, I would like to give some shout-outs. So the next stream that you'll see from me will be Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I don't know if I'll be finishing it in Saturday's stream, but might get close. Even though the music, I interrupted the music when the change to a different chapter began, that music will replay because if you wait too long after the start of a chapter, then the autosave will happen after the first part of the chapter has actually gone past. So stopping it where I did will mean that in the next stream it'll pick up after, well, it'll re-show the previously section, and then it'll start again at the start of the chapter with the music when the flamethrower guy appears. Would like to recommend highly people check out the following streamers: RV, who is playing through Marvel Spider-Man, in Mita, who is doing Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. Lightus is a big retro streamer. He's a big fan of a lot of different retro franchises like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil. Of course, those franchises are no longer just retro, obviously, but they've been long running enough to have retro games and newer games as well. Mr. Gote is a streamer of games like Banish's Ghost of New Eden. Shillerlock, he's doing his first playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2. He's playing the remastered version. And Shaky is doing Far Cry 6. So definitely recommend checking out those streamers if you haven't before. Lightus says absolutely no trouble at all for the shout out, dude. More than happy to give you one. Thank you once again, everyone, for watching this stream. I really do appreciate it. The next stream you'll see from me will be Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And if you see me streaming that, then you know it's my Saturday game. If I finish it tomorrow, I'll reveal what the game replacing it will be in tomorrow's stream. And the next Until Dawn stream won't be until next Friday. Let me see. So that's the general raid message that everyone can feel free to copy and paste. And I'll also put one in chat for subscribers as well. Thank you very much, Ogorki. I definitely will have a good day. I hope that you do too. And ending the stream, but definitely enjoyed it. Had a good rest of the stream. So that was really good. It was good to get a chapter done. So far, I've been doing 2 chapters per stream, but this one's an exception. But we can do another 2 in next Friday's stream as well. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. I hope that everyone has a great rest of your Friday, and catch you next time.